My name is Linda Dyer, and I teach in the management program. I teach undergraduates and graduate students research methods, and I also teach the critical thinking business course for the first year business students. My area of interest is in the entrepreneur, the person who creates, buys a business, and who proceeds to manage the business. I look mainly at small and medium-sized firms. I look at some micro enterprises, the very small ones with fewer than 10 employees. And what I'm interested in is what are the factors that lead these small and medium-sized firms to be successful. One of the stereotypes that we have about small business owners is that they're very much loners. They do their own thing, they don't fit very well in an organizational context, which is why they are owning their own business. They don't like other people telling them what to do. So they're sort of lone wolves, they're independent, they are anti-bureaucratic, they fight against City Hall. They are very much solo people out there getting their business activities done. It's a misconception because one of the things we've found is that those business owners who draw on the input from others as they strategize and plan their businesses end up being somewhat more successful than those who tell us they don't do that. And the others that I'm talking about tend to be the business support professionals, like accountants, like consultants, lawyers, sometimes even bankers, who provide information and advice to small and medium-sized business owners. The more that people draw on this advice, the more successful their businesses seem to be. We also talk about the employees and those business owners who tell us that they have trusting relationships with key employees in the firm. They end up seeming to be somewhat more successful than those who don't have that sort of link with their employees. And so it's not really the case that the business owner is out there on his or her own doing his or her thing. To the extent that they rely and develop these relationships with others, they tend to be more successful. One of the things that we can do to help managers, those who own and manage their own businesses, is really to understand the importance of these relationships and to understand how one can make these relationships successful, because it is very clear that there are many business relationships out there, relationships between business owners and the business support professionals that are not so successful. So a contribution of our research is to say, what are the things that lead to a successful relationship that would lead to business, profitable business activities? And one of the things we found is that to the extent that the business support professional and the business owner communicate well, that they speak the same language, it tends to lead to a more successful advisory relationship, which in the longer term leads to more success. Those business owners that learn and prepare themselves to bring employees into the business in a conscientious, formal, systematic way end up developing better trusting relationships with key employees. So communicating to employees things like the appreciation we have for what they do, allowing them to develop their own responsibility, doing all those things that lead to what can almost be described a family atmosphere in the small firm can help owner-managers of small businesses have better trusting relationships with key employees that in the end could lead to more successful business activities.